Today, I'm going to be giving you 5 surefire tips on how to stay motivated as an actor.
You're listening to the Go Be Great podcast with Travis Wolfe Sr., inspiring you to strive for greatness in everything, everywhere, every time.
Go be great! Great day. Welcome to the Go Be Great podcast. I am Travis Wolfe Sr., and you are great. Guys, today I'm going to be giving you 5 surefire tips on how to stay motivated as an actor. I know in the entertainment industry, it can be really hard for people to stay motivated because especially if they're not achieving what they're looking to achieve. And because it's so challenging, it's sometimes difficult for some people, depending on how you look at it, it's easy to get demotivated sometimes, or it can appear to be easy to get demotivated. But I'm going to give you 5 surefire tips to make sure that you get motivated and stay motivated for the long term. Now, a little bit about me, guys. I grew up poor. I grew up impoverished. I grew up with, parents on drugs. I was placed in the foster care system when I was 8 years old. I was a victim of sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, all kinds of abuse in the foster care system. I was homeless and, just the whole nine. But today, my family and I, we're an entertainment industry family. My wife's an entertainment career consultant. My son, Travis Wolfe Jr., is 14 years old. He's a series regular on a CBS comedy called Bob Hart's Abby Shola. Comes on every Monday night at 8:30 p.m., so look out for that. Shameless plug. My 18-year-old daughter, Anaya Wolfe, she is a director and filmmaker and doing some big things here in Los Angeles. And even my 6-year-old daughter, Ariel Sky Wolfe, she is also an actor in the entertainment industry as well, and me too. So we've done a lot of great things in the entertainment industry, right? So we've had a lot of great experiences, and we understand what it takes to stay motivated throughout. There's been times when we've had, really not so great situations, or situations we felt that weren't so great, depending on how we looked at it at that time in our lives. But we are so grateful for all those experiences and realize how important all those experiences were. So through everything that we've gone through, even when things didn't appear to work out the way that we wanted them to, we still were able to stay motivated through the whole process to get to where we are today. And we're still going to continue to stay motivated to get beyond where we are today. But enough about me. We're going to get right into it. Before we do, though, please remember, if you enjoy the content, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time we drop new content. All right, guys, so let's get right into it. Tip number 1, in order to stay motivated as an actor, the number 1 thing you got to do is create a vision. If you don't have a vision, you don't know what you're working toward. And if you don't have a vision, sometimes you'll find yourself doing anything. You'll be like a ship without a rudder. You'll just go wherever the tide takes you. And oftentimes, as actors, we find ourselves doing things that we look back on like, man, I really wish I didn't do that. Or, that doesn't really, align with who I am today. I kind of just did it for the money, or I kind of just did it for the exposure, for the experience, or I kind of just wanted the credit, and now I really wish I didn't do it, but it's already been filmed, and now it's like we've done so many different things as actors that we don't really want to, maybe wish we didn't do, maybe wish that, we kind of didn't have that experience, but because we didn't have a vision, that's kind of where we'll land sometimes. We might end up doing a lot of background roles, then be kind of branded as a background actor, and then not be happy with our career. There's all kinds of crazy things that we'll do if we don't have a vision. So the most important thing is creating a vision. Now, somebody might be saying, Trav, what's a vision? And if you are saying, Trav, what's a vision? Guys, a vision is supposed to be something that is so grandiose, right? And an ideal, right? Some God-inspired ideal that you're working toward, somewhere you're trying to get to that's so almost intangible, right? Or even intangible that you never can really achieve it, but you're going to be working toward it every day. I'll give you an example, right? Let's think about, if you're a sports fan and you're like, who's the best basketball player? Everybody knows that argument is like, there's like many people who can be considered, but top 3 people, it's really easy for many people to say, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, right? Those 3. Now, all of those guys work toward being the greatest player ever, right? All those guys work toward being the greatest player ever every day. But it's something that they'll really never achieve because, first of all, that's an objective thing to say, the best player. There's so many different intangibles, and many people who are watching this, everybody doesn't agree that those 3 people are even the top 3. And many of you guys might agree with me that one of those 3 are the top player ever to play the game, but many don't agree because it's something that's so grand that you really can't achieve to be the best ever. Because there might be somebody else that comes along. You guys understand, right? So if you're trying to say, I want to be the best basketball player ever, maybe you might not reach that goal, but you want to work so hard to be considered, right? Those 3 players are considered the top 3 players ever, right? Those 3 players are in the conversation. LeBron still works hard every day to become the greatest player ever, right? He's still working hard every day to be considered that, even though he's in the conversation. But that's something that he knows he'll never achieve for the whole world to consider him as the greatest ever, but he still works toward that goal every single day, right? So that ideal, that vision is so grand, he might not ever achieve it, but he's inspired every day to work toward it. So my goal as an actor is to become one of the greatest, or if not the greatest, who's ever done it, and to use that platform to inspire and empower others all across the world to want to do the same thing, to achieve a goal that they set to achieve, to become the greatest at whatever they do, to strive for greatness in whatever it is that they're doing, right? And that might never be achievable, but it inspires me and I'm motivated to work toward it every single day. Now, if you don't have a vision, like I said, you might just do any old kind of thing. But if you have a vision as an actor to become one of the greatest ever, wouldn't you strive for that by practicing, by working hard, by learning, by going to acting classes all the time? Wouldn't you do what it takes to become a great actor? Well, what does a great actor do, right? If you're just waking up every day and just kind of acting, just being average, or giving it average effort, you're just going to be average. Right? An average actor doesn't have to work hard, doesn't have to strive every day to be the best, doesn't have to practice every day, doesn't have to take in other actors' content and watch other videos, watch other movies, other TV shows of other actors constantly every single day. Great actors are ones who are masters of the craft, right? So if you want to be the greatest, you have to master the craft. So set that vision and then work toward achieving it. So tip number 2, it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. Sometimes we go in there and we give our best in front of a casting director and we may not get that role. And some of us may get into a rut because of it. We may get sad because of it. We may get frustrated because of it. But we can't take it personal. There's been so many times we've done auditions, we've self-tape auditions, in-person auditions, and we walked in a room and didn't book. But it's not always personal. Before you walk in that room, the casting directors might already have a vision for what the person who's going to play that role looks like. They might be 6'2". They might have blue eyes. They might have brown hair. They might have, larger hands or smaller waist or whatever. So when you walk in that room, you don't know what they're looking for. You don't know what they're thinking, but they're human, and some of their prejudices might kick in. Some of their specific ideas of what that looks like, what that actor is supposed to look like, might take precedent. No matter how great you are, you might not get that role. But you got to remember, it's not you. It's me, the casting director, sitting on this side. It's not you. Walk in, do your absolute best, walk out, and forget about it. And if you end up getting a call back, you'll be surprised, right? But just go in there and do your very best and forget about it, because it's not you. It's me. All right, so tip number 3, believe that it's already yours. Believe that it's yours. In Mark chapter 11 and verse 24, Jesus says, "Therefore I tell you, everything that you pray and ask for, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." Believe that you already received it and it will be yours. So if you ask God for a thing, if you pray for a thing, if you ask for a thing, believe it's already yours. If you had a magic crystal ball, right, and you could see the future and you knew that whatever you wanted, it was already yours, you're going to get it. If you, lost your house along the way, if you went bankrupt along the way, if you lost your car along the way, would you be upset? Would you be scared? Would you be nervous? Would you be fearful? Would you doubt that you're still going to get it? If you saw in the crystal ball that you received it and it was yours, you could see the future, you wouldn't be affected by anything that happened along the way. You would understand it's just part of the process. So if you ask for a thing and pray for a thing and believe that it's yours, it already is. It's yours. So along the path, if you don't get that job, if you don't get that gig, if you don't book, don't worry about it, because it's yours already. Whatever you're asking for, it is already yours. You can't get distracted or get frustrated or give power to appearances. It's already yours. So know that it's yours, and it will be. Tip number 4, focus on the goal, not the gig. Not the gig, right? Focus on the goal, not the audition. Focus on the goal, not that particular job. Focus on the goal. Focus on the goal. I have a really great friend of mine who's, I don't want to put his name out there right now. I don't know if he'll approve of it yet, but he gave me some advice. He's been an actor for like 35 years. He's been in pretty much everything, right? And some advice he gave me recently, he told me some stories about actors. I'll give you some context. I was telling him about a role that I wanted, right, in the industry, a particular role on the television show. And he was like, Trav, let me tell you a story. And he told me like 3 or 4 stories. And it was about people in the industry who were really big actors who he knew, who were friends of his, who wanted a role and they didn't get it. And some of those actors got really, really frustrated about it, or really, really sad, or it affected them really, really deeply because they wanted that role. And some of them ended up not acting anymore. Some of them actually gave up because they didn't get a particular role. And they're still, they're still famous or semi-famous, some of these people, but some of them gave up. And then there's others who went in, did an audition, they didn't get a job, and they didn't care. They just kept moving on, or they killed the audition. It was extraordinary. And they knew they were getting a job, but they didn't. And it didn't affect them. And they just kept pushing forward because they knew what was for them was for them. Right? So what he was trying to tell me was focus on the goal, right? Your goal, Trav, you said that your goal is to master the craft as an actor. So if your goal is to master the craft, focus on mastering the craft. And whatever's for you, it's for you. It's going to come to you along the way. But you need to focus on the craft. Hone in on the craft. So that's my number 4 tip. Focus on the goal, which is for you, it's whatever it is, right? For me, it's becoming one of the greatest actors ever, mastering the craft. And for you, it's whatever it is. But focus on that goal and not the gig. All right, and lastly, tip number 5. I kind of already gave it away in the last tip, but tip number 5 is master the craft. Master the craft. Master the craft. And by that, I mean practice. We talking practice? Yeah, we talking practice? Yes, practice. Practice.
But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game.
We're talking practice, guys. We have to practice this craft every single day. To become great at it, we have to practice every single day. We can't just think it's going to just come to us. And there's some of us who are extraordinary. We just wake up every day and we're great at acting. I get it. But even those who are great at acting, even Denzel Washington still takes acting classes. He still has a coach, right? Even some of the greats, if you research them, watch some of their interviews, listen to what they say, they're still practicing every day. The reason why they practice every day is because they know that the moment that they let up, that they can fall behind. And they don't want to fall behind. To stay on top of your game, you must work at it every day. So master the craft, every facet of it, so that you can achieve that ultimate goal and become that great actor that you want to be. And you can stay motivated every day to do the job. I'll tell you what, if you strive to master the craft, you'll be motivated every day, because there's so much in the acting business that we don't know about acting, even though we've been in the industry for 7 years now. And we've had some great success, but there's still so much we don't know that we need to learn as a family, as individual actors, especially me, because I'm kind of new at this acting thing. There's so much that we need to learn that I'm motivated to get into it every single day, because I just want to know more. I want to be great at it. So if you want to stay motivated as an actor, again, tip number 5, master the craft. All right, guys, so those are my 5 surefire tips to help you stay motivated as an actor. I trust that this information is going to serve you well. Guys, watch this video a couple times, watch it a few times, watch it every day. Get this information in, guys. And remember, consistency is key, right? So the more you take the information in, the more you learn, the more you'll be inspired, the more you'll be motivated, and the more you'll be able to go be great.